He was once just another foreigner in Thailand, chasing fights in smoky rings, desperate to prove himself. But his wild charges left him flat on the mat, humiliated and screaming at the referee. That night, his world collapsed. The police stormed his apartment, dragged him out half naked, and threw him into a brutal prison where survival meant breaking or breaking others. Inside those suffocating walls, they mocked him for being foreign, shoved him in line, forced him to do push-ups like a clown. They thought he was weak. They didn't know this man was a trained boxer with rage buried deep inside. Every insult, every slap, every time he watched another inmate beaten or killed, the fire in him burned hotter. It snapped when he begged for medicine, and the guard refused. In an instant, he turned animal. Fists flew, teeth tore into flesh, and when he stood back, his mouth dripped with blood. From that day, the guards chained him tighter. He wasn't a man anymore. He was a psycho. But in the chaos, a spark of hope returned. His old coach, still just a boy, visited him with bright eyes and stories of fights won. For the first time, the prisoner cried, realizing he wasn't forgotten. He began shadowboxing in the dark cell, each punch steadier, sharper, a promise to himself that he would rise again. When the prison announced a boxing tournament, he finally got his chance. The ring was surrounded by killers, guards, even women inmates pressed against the bars. His opponent hit hard, swelling his eyes shut, crushing his ribs, until every breath felt like death. But he remembered one thing, a single move his coach drilled into him. As his rival lunged recklessly, the broken man spun and drove his elbow into his skull. The fighter dropped. Silence and chaos. Inmates screamed. Guards applauded. Even the women cheered. For one moment, the psycho prisoner was no longer a victim. He was their champion. But victory came with a price. He vomited blood, collapsed, and the medics warned, "Fight again, and it'll kill you." Yet when given the chance to escape, he walked back through the gates himself. Not to flee, but to face what was left. Because real champions don't run. Years later, he finally walked out free. No longer the addict, no longer the bullied foreigner, but a man who had been broken, rebuilt, and reborn. Now he trains others, warning them of the truth he learned the hard way. You never know who you're pushing. That quiet man you mock, that stranger you shove, he might just be the fighter you should have feared all along.